Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we're going to be doing the November 2018 paint with me, plan with me, journal with me, whatever you want to call it. Just like we did for October when we did this painting together. This was a Freebie Friday. This is also going to be a Freebie Friday, except today is now Saturday. I painted this on Friday, but I'll talk about that in just a minute. So this was the actual painting, and I did it on the Rhodia paper, or Rhodia paper. I don't know how it's pronounced. But this one, I did it on a separate piece of paper, on a piece of watercolor paper. So this is the actual printout, and minus this calendar here. I added that later. But this time around, I didn't add the year onto the Freebie printable. So it's the same concept, right? So my free templates are only available in my Facebook group. They're available nowhere else. So if you're not a member of my Facebook group, there's a link down below. Just hit that link, request to join, and if you're not, and then my mom will check you out, make sure you're a person, and then she will accept you into the group. And then there's a ton of wonderful people over there that if you can't find these files, they will help you find them in a heartbeat. They have no issues helping. They're a great group of people. Okay, so the reason I am refilming my intro, and today is Saturday, painted this yesterday, is because I almost scrapped the entire project. I had such a terrible day yesterday. I had so many difficulties. I had creative difficulties, I had technical difficulties, I had noise difficulties, I had barking difficulties. It was raining. There's just a lot going on, and I decided to not scrap it because, you know, like for example, when I started drawing this out, I had a whole different direction I was going in. I erased it a couple times, started over a couple times. I ended up deleting some of that footage because, you know, it was the footage, the raw footage, there was so much of it that I decided I better delete some of it. I fast forwarded through some of it, so you'll hear my voice go crazy and you'll see my hand go faster. But those are just on the kind of like the repetitive parts. But I decided to go ahead and release it out to you guys because I want you to see that it's not always perfect, and that even if you don't like it, if you walk away from it a minute and come back to it, you're like, oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought. Or if you don't like it and you can let it dry and you can tweak it a little bit, go in a different direction than you originally thought, all of that. So I decided I would just leave the footage, edit some of it out, and go ahead and share it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you give it a try. So let's just get on into the actual video. We're going to be using the Large Wanderlust Traveler's Notebook insert that we made. There's a playlist down below if you want to see how we made this whole mini album / Traveler's Notebook. This is the Wanderlust. And just like last month, where I did a journal with me in my insert, we're going to kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to take my insert out and I'm going to put this aside. So this is what we did last month. This was the October, and this was a Freebie Friday that's available in my Facebook group. That's the only place you'll be able to find it. And it turned out really pretty, except this time I think I'm going to paint on a piece of watercolor paper. So I went ahead and cut a piece of watercolor paper down. It's still a little bit big. Maybe I should cut it down a little bit more. So this is what I painted. We did like a step-by-step thing, and you guys said you liked that format. And then when I printed it off, this is what it ended up looking like. And then I had some extra from the inspiration piece. I went ahead and added that into the Freebie Friday, and so there's extra pumpkins and stuff. So anyway, that was the last video, and I will link this video below as well. That was the last Freebie Friday journal with me video. Or was it the last Freebie Friday? But this was the last journal with me, paint with me video, so I will link it below. And unfortunately, I have had no time to work in my traveler's notebook at all. So the only thing I did was this, and here we are, almost the end of October. And I've done nothing else. So that really stinks. I think I'll skip a page just because there are some things that happened already that I want to add in here. And there's birthdays coming up. My birthday is on Halloween. My husband's birthday, my oldest son's birthday. All of our birthdays are in the next couple days. So 28th, 29th, and 31st. And then my youngest son's November. So I want to save a few pages for that. So I'm going to skip a few. But I am going to do this on a piece of watercolor paper. This one I think is, let me get the thingy. This one is Fabriano watercolor hot press paper, 140 pound. I just cut it down. See, this is more of a smooth type watercolor paper, so I like it a little bit better. That might be too much. Let's try just taking 1/8 of an inch off, because I want to be able to put this in my book when I'm finished, along with the printed version. And so here are, oh, let me put this up. That was my inspiration for that one. So here are my inspiration pieces for this one, which I like them both, but I don't know. I wanted to do, like, this was the first one I did, because around here, you know, there's mums and pumpkins and stuff like that all in November. I don't really want to do anything food related. I just want to do something simple. And then I thought about, you know, putting pumpkins in like an urn type thing, which is super cute, but then I feel like that's a lot. I don't know. I can't decide what to do. I can't decide which way I want to go. So those are my two inspiration pieces. And then I have my DIY travel art journal here, and I have my palette. I'm gonna use the exact same colors that I used in the October. I'm not gonna use my journal, but I'm gonna use the palette. And then I also have my water brush, the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2s that I used last time. Mine is the blue, that one of the blues that I used. And then there's my flexible ruler and my pencil, my white Jelly Roll pen, and my Ranger Mini Mister. I will have everything I can think of linked down below as best I can. The watercolors on this palette here is a Daniel Smith, the Primatex set, except for the yellow is a Daniel Smith, but it's not in this package. And then what's not on here? The, whatever this one is, I don't know how to say it. It's not on here. It's not on the palette. Oh, here's the yellow. It is the Hansa Yellow Light Daniel Smith Extra Fine Watercolors. These are fun because some of them have like sparklies because they're made from like real gemstones and stuff, so I think it's pretty cool. So these and the Caran d'Ache are the two art media that I'm using. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, this is a Nuvo water brush. It comes in a pack of 2. Which one is this one? I don't know which one this one is. This one is the fine. I think there's a, well, I don't know what the other one is, but there's 2 in there. So I'm going to move some of this stuff aside. I need to start drawing. Okay. So I'm going to draw on here. I'm going to do a quick sketch first. Again, I'm not sure what I want to do. I mean, both of these are great. I don't know. So I'm going to use my flexible ruler here, my mood. It's not really a mood. It's just a color changing, temperature changing. And I'm just going to draw kind of like a guideline. So like these, if I do planters, they're sitting on something. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're not just floating in the air. And then I kind of want to draw a line up here maybe where November is going to be. So I'm just going to draw a faint line up there. So I just need to decide what I want to do. I guess I could scooch y'all in. Okay, you probably won't be able to see because it is just faint pencil. So I don't know. I kind of like the idea of mixing the pumpkins in with the mum planters, the flowers, the mums. Or I could have this urn just have a mum in it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I was thinking, you know, we've already got the different little pieces from this freebie that we could add into, you know, these pages as well, because they're pumpkins, obviously. So what do we think? I think maybe we'll just do the mums, and then we can add like the pumpkins from the October one that way. So let's do it that way. So I can do the urn still, but then I'm going to put a mum in it versus pumpkins. That's a good idea. That's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm going to kind of like, that might be too high of a line. Let me erase that line there. I think it's up too high. Okay, let's come down a little bit further. Okay, so I'm going to sketch lightly. Well, I'm going to try to anyway. So I think I'm going to have the urn type planter right here. And I'm just drawing in a shape. I'm not really being too careful because it'll get tweaked quite a bit. See, I already feel like that doesn't look right. What if we just drew like a bowl shape? Let's do that. Let's draw a bowl shape. I don't like it. We're starting over. See, if you sketch lightly, you can erase pretty easy. And I'm going to scoop my line down even more. Just put the perspective just seems kind of off, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's try this again. My pencil keeps getting in the way. Maybe if I come down more skinny, maybe it'd be better. So we're doing like a triangle. Let's try that. Right? And then the triangle has to come down to a base. And then there has to be something holding it up, right? Nope. All right, let's see. Well, let's leave it like that. Let's see what happens. So then we're going to have like a big fluffy plant, right? Okay. So then I think I want a smaller one down here, I think. It's kind of like in front. Oh. No, that doesn't look right. Okay. before I draw the base, let's just keep the base, and we're not going to worry about the base. I'm going to draw the smaller plant over here, right? And so there's going to be plant in there. Okay, and then maybe we'll do a bigger planter right here. More of a terracotta pot kind of planter. I guess that one could be behind. Should it be behind? And we'll just draw the little base that it's sitting in. Okay, so this kind of changed its shape, didn't it? It's kind of no longer a, what's it called? Urn type situation. It has turned into just a planter, which is totally fine. I'm totally fine with that. I like it. And one that you're not even going to see much. So it kind of turned more into this type of painting. So I have no idea. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. I'm being really quiet. There's like some commotion going on outside. And I kind of want to get rid of that line again. It's a nice thing about sketching it out first. Whoops. I'm just going to, oops. So I don't know how long I was just out of frame, but I erased the line that I drew to kind of give me a ballpark of where I wanted things to go. Now let's start adding color. I do like this. I might include this in like the freebie too. I do like it. Even though we didn't paint it together, I really do kind of like it. I dig it. So I will include this as well. And this. I'll include them all. How about that? All right, So, I'm not going to write November yet, but I am going to start with the painting. Let's see. I kind of like the terracotta coloring, so I'm going to start with the terracotta pot first. Oops, my brush was not clean. So with these types of water brushes, you just have to squeeze. This one actually says press. You just have to press it. So on this palette, I've put some matte medium. What did I put down here? I'll have to look and see. I put something down here to make it more waterproof for a mixing palette. So I'm going to add some pink. Make kind of an orange color. And we're just going to start there. So I'm going to just kind of go here and just kind of block in some color. I'm not being real straight about this line because there's going to be flowers and such. So mums. So I'm just doing like kind of like a base layer. And this one too, down here, the saucer that it sits in. Trying to be better about leaving like white spaces, but I didn't leave much of a white space there, did I? Okay, so I think I'm going to go into a little bit more of that pink, and I'm going to add just a little more color. And down here. One of the things I love about watercolor is it's kind of like an impression. You're giving the impression of something. And you know what? Sometimes terracotta, I'm just going to scribble this on here. It sometimes gets like moss growing on it. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that. So it looks like it's a really old pot. And once again, you guys, I am not a watercolorist. My background is more acrylic, but I really enjoy working with watercolor. And I'm going to define this a little bit better. I guess I scoot in a little bit better for you. I'm going to define the saucer and stuff just a little bit better, like I did in this one. Well, maybe. You see how you can see the saucer and everything. So I'm going to make it a little bit more crisp and clean in a little bit. I think it looks cute. Okay. So then I'm going to go over here. Let's do this one. We're going to make this one kind of like a brownish color. So I'm going to take this flesh color here. I'm going to scribble it right here, because I'm going to use that as kind of like the base for the pot, just like a base coloring. And then maybe I'll add just a touch of purple. To that color. And come up under here. Just try to give this pot like some texture. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. Oh, you know what? I might even add just a little bit of black. This is hematite. And the purple is amethyst. Super cool. All right, I'm gonna come back to this one, and I think I'm gonna add some more pink to that over here. I'm gonna take my mister and I'm gonna just spray some water down here just so I have a little bit more water to play with. I have to use the gel pen, I think, to make it a little bit more, you know, have a little bit more highlights in it. Okay, so what color do I want this big one to be? Well, let's start with, let's make it kind of like a gray, or should we make it like a, let's kind of make it gray. Let's start there. You're not going to see much of it. I kind of want to add purple. Yep, I do. Yep, I do. Yep. Well, can't my planner be purple? It can. I'll just add a little bit of touch of it anyway. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to let those dry for a minute. I am going to take the green, this is a Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2 Water Soluble Wax Pastel. This one is in olive. And I think I'm going to start, I'm just going to kind of block some color into these. Mums are a lot deeper than this, like their leaves are a little bit deeper than this, but I just wanted someplace to start. So I'm just taking it straight from the crayon, I'm just taking my brush straight to it.
I'm going to go ahead and block all three of them in with a little bit of green. Get this going. This is one of my favorite colors of green. Like these color combinations, they're so vintage feeling, which reminds me, I so want to get Prima's new palette, vintage, I forget what they called it, but it's like all these pretty vintage colors. Oh my gosh, I want to get it so bad. I think it'd be so right up my alley. We'll see. Alrighty, and then I'm going to go ahead and block some color in here.
Okay, I'm going to start with pink, I think. I'm going to do a pink one. I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow so it's not hot pink. So it's more kind of on the reddish side. Just a little bit. There we go. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to start dabbing because I don't want it to be super specific. Like, oh yeah, that's a flower. You know what I mean? I don't want it to look like that. Or the detail. I don't want all that detail. So I'm just going to go through and just dot some color here and there. Because mums are like usually covered in flowers. Right? And then I'm going to go into this hunter green kind of color. I think I'm going to tame it a little bit with this. Warm it up. Oof. Didn't mean for it to be that dark, but okay, we're going with it. So again, it's just supposed to be like the impression of flowers. Does it look like the impression of flowers yet? And I think when we come back and highlight it with the jelly pen, the white jelly roll pen, I think we can pull out some more of that, you know, the flowers. So I'm going to go back over those just a little bit with some straight pink. It's not straight pink, but so now I've given it even more depth. Yeah. All right. So now what color? I'm going to do purple, but I don't know which one I'm going to do. Purple on this one. So I'm just going to start. See, that one's a much brighter purple. That one I did with, I think one of the Caran d'Ache crayons. I'm not sure. Right, and then what color do I want this one to be? Feeling like, I don't know what I'm feeling like actually. I would like it to be a light pink, but I wonder, let's try to mix. Let's see if we can get a different purple. Let's mix this blue and this pink and see what color purple we get. Ooh, that's like a wine color. Ooh, I like that. I like that quite a bit. Okay, let's go for that. I like it. just going in, adding some more leaves to the edges here. Some more green anyway. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave those alone for now. Let's see, bring it up closer to you, see what you think. Right? So now I need to give it something to sit on. So I think again I'm gonna start with this green. Maybe not that mixture of green that I've got on there. I just want to do like a faint, there we go. Just something for it to sit on. And then we can add more color later. Okay, then I'm gonna get some of this flesh color. And then I'm also going to get some of this sky blue, I think. This is not sky blue, this is turquoise blue. And I want to add, whoa, don't want that much. I want to add some of that in here. Okay. So I'm going to go into this black now, this hematite. That's what this one is. And I'm going to water that down. Because now I want to go in and add some shadow.
Under the pots. And behind the pots.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to come back and add more to that in a little bit. But I'm going to leave that for now. And I think I am going to add some sky color. Do I like the flesh color around these and then the sky color around that? I think so. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go straight from that. I could color it on there. Maybe I'll do that with the blue. But I'm just basically going to add some water to the crayon, and I'm just going to add some color. I'm going to spray my palette again. Except this time I'm going to blot that off so that I could use a clean space. I just want a quick place to grab some water.
I feel like I've scratched my watercolor paper. It's making weird marks. Right, so now I'm going to come up to this side and look at this. So they're in between the little pots there.
Alright, so I'm going to leave that be for now. But I do want to come maybe and add some more of this green. Or maybe a little bit more. All right, so now, you know what, I might, instead of writing the word November on here, I might just do the painting and then put the November on the computer in there, because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. All right, I think I'm gonna try to I'm gonna color with the crayon straight onto the paper, and then I'm going to take the water to it. Let's see what it does. Especially like here on the top, I want it to be darker, I guess. I'm having a hard time staying in frame with you guys because the camera is, I have to reach out. I'm reaching out to like keep you guys so you could see, but it's like, it's harder for me to see that way. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm just going to scrub. And I'm just gonna keep adding water. I'm not really scrubbing, I'm just going in circles. Because you can, I think that's what's happening. I'm scratching my paper with my brush here accidentally if I'm pressing too hard. So I'm gonna go add some more color straight from the crayon. I think I prefer this method on watercolor paper better. Going from the, you know, the brush to the crayon. Sometimes I can't get any pigment to come, or water to come out of my brush. It's because I'm not squeezing in the right spot.
I don't know, you guys. I think I'm gonna have to let it dry. And then come back to it. Just get a paper towel. because, see, I feel like down here, we need more green.
Okay, I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll come back and do some detail stuff. Okay, I walked away and let it dry because I was getting frustrated. You know, if you ever do that when you're doing something, you're creating something, even though you're not, you know, a watercolor artist or whatever you are, you know, doodling or drawing or whatever you're doing, when it starts to look weird, you get frustrated, right? So I walked away, let it dry, and it looks better. I also got me some chocolate. So I'm gonna take a bite of chocolate real quick. This is just Dove milk chocolate, I think. I should have got dark chocolate, but what's it say? Whoop. Ah! This isn't a fall. What? Oh, this isn't a foil. It's a costume. That's funny. Let me eat my chocolate real quick. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, why is that one so messed up? I'm gonna take my Sharpie pen and I'm gonna start adding some detail. I think I'll feel better if I can start adding some detail. So I'm just gonna make some, just some random, you know, marks here for the mum area, and then I'm going to come back and add some more specific marks for the terracotta pot. We're going to define that out again like that. And I'm going to come up here and do the same thing. I'm actually recording this on Friday, the 26th, and I just got a notification that Lindsay from the Frugal Crafter is doing like a watercolor Q&A. So if she's doing it live, so if you want to learn how to do real watercoloring, then I suggest you watch her channel. She's way better at it than I ever thought about being. But anyways, so I'll link her video below because it won't be live by the time this one's up. And so then I'm gonna trace around that pot. Right, so then now I can go back and add be careful, I don't want to get too weird. I feel like it's going on a hill. I feel like I got it. It's crooked, but that's okay. So that's looking a little better. I think it's looking just a little bit better. Okay, so maybe I'll try to get some more detail in here. Before I do the gel pen, I think I'll add detail. I think I'm going to try to add some shadow to this pot back here with the black. And maybe even add a little bit more texture to the pot. It's so weird reaching out. I'm like literally have my arms all the way stretched out. It's so strange. I tried to figure out what that noise was, where it's coming from. I can't see It's raining today, so I can't see what's going on, but it's loud. Can you all hear it? Let me know if you can hear it. I mean, it's so weird. And I think I'm gonna come back down here and darken some of these areas just a little bit. All right, now, do I need to add, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of shadow to this pot over here. Just to give it some more dimension. Paper towel walked away from me. And maybe I'll add some under here. I don't feel like that pot. It's got the right dimension to it. But I'm going to come back with my white gel pen, so that should help quite a bit. Let's see. I'm kind of wanting to bring, like I did here, I brought some pink down into the grass area. I'm kind of wanting to bring some of that down here as well. Oops. Oh, I need to let that dry a minute and change my battery. Shoot. All right, so I've let that dry, well, a little bit, and I think I'm gonna add some of this purple down here as well. Plus it just gives it a little bit more depth. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do some of this gel pen stuff. Let's see. Let me test it. I'm gonna start on my terracotta pot because it's the one that's bothering me the most. Right? So I'm just doing a bunch of little dots. Can you even see that? Just doing a bunch of little dots. Do I like the dots, or do I want to do like more of a swoopy? I guess I can do both. All right, and I'm gonna do some dots on the purple. And I'm gonna do some dots here, even though I did leave a little bit of white space on this, which I did real good. Do some dots there. I want this pot to be like super textured looking, you know, so. All right, so let's add some, a little bit of highlighting down here. Maybe not so much over there. not looking as white as I would like for it to. All right, and then how do I want to highlight my flowers? I think I'm just going to do dots. So this is totally just meant to be like a sketchy type of painting. It is definitely not meant to be real. Let me flip this around so I don't get my hand in there. It's definitely not meant to be like realistic. It's just kind of like an illusion, like a sketchy illusion. Okay, now I want to add some blue. I was going to go straight to there. Probably can't even see what I'm doing. What do we think? Do we think it's getting better or do we think it's getting worse? I feel like I want to lighten this up. I wonder, let me get some water flowing. What? Do you see what that gel pen just did? What? I didn't know it would do that. That is so cool. Okay. Let's see what that does. Let's just make that work for us. And then when we get done, we can come back and do crisper lines. But it kind of like adds like a softness. That looks pretty cool now. I like it. I think we might have saved my little drawing here. Interesting. I like what the white did, the gel pen. I like that. It kind of blended in and softened down some of the colors, muted them a little bit. I really like that. I think that looks pretty good. I want to add some more of this flesh color up in here. There we go. Okay, what do you guys think? I'm just going to keep piddling with it. I think that's what I'm going to keep doing. Yeah. Oh, the noise stopped. Wonder what it was. So I'm totally digging it. Do you guys like it? Can you tell me if you like it? Do you like it? So it'll be like right here. Let me scoot these out of the way. Right? And then it'll say November up here. But I'm going to add that in the computer. Let me get that gel off of me. I like it. All right, I'm gonna let that dry and we'll come back. What do you guys think? think I should just leave it be now. I should just go turn it into a, what did I just do with my marker? I'm gonna just put my initials in here. I'm gonna put them in here somewhere so that they're not as visible. Oh, I should write November out. Let me grab this piece of watercolor paper. And let's see if I can write November out. I think I'm going to do it in this hematite color. Boy, I can't do this and talk at the same time. Goodness. This is the one I struggle with the most. The M. Add some more water. Uh-oh. Sophie. Sophie. Well, okay, she stopped barking, but I went ahead and kept trying to get this to look good. So I just added some more where it was light. No big deal. So there is November. Did I spell it right? November. Yep. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, it is Saturday. I had a lot of technical difficulties, and I just got done refilming the intro, so you already know what's the scoop, what's been happening. So today is Saturday, and I've got everything worked out, and I have got the freebie ready for you guys to look at. So here is what the Freebie Friday, well today be Freebie Saturday, is going to look like. Okay, there are 3 sheets actually for this one, and that's because I wanted to go ahead and include these 2 as well, because I think they're both super pretty, and this was the first inspiration, and then this was kind of like an idea I had that I did not record, and then this is what I, painted with you guys, obviously. So again, I told you guys I was having technical difficulties. Well, I still had more technical difficulties. Something was going on. I don't know. I think my husband might have been tweaking some of the security software or something. Something was awry. So the colors aren't exactly perfect. The one color that's kind of standing out to me that is not matching 100% perfectly is the flesh color. So this color that we used around the outside here, it kind of changed a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be just fine. So I took my November, right, and I put that into my computer, and then I layered it on top of the painting that we did. And I did that because I didn't want to mess up my painting anymore, because at the time I was kind of like a little frustrated. So this is the first Freebie Friday page, and then I made 2 pages, so if you didn't want the November on there, you could have another one without the November. And then I took the pots out, the mums, and I made them more like cut apart type things, and I have different sizes. So then the next page is this one. I do love this drawing. I mean, and this painting. I'm sorry. I do love this painting. I'm not going to lie. So I did a whole page just of that one. And it's all different sizes. I just think it would be fun to use throughout all of your different like bullet journals, junk journals, traveler's notebooks, scrapbooking, all of that. And you can use them like as stickers. I don't know, I just think it's cute. So then there's that, and then there's 4 different sizes of that. Actually, this is the actual size, this bottom one, and then these ones up here are smaller. And then here is the 3rd page, and that is this one. That's where, this is the original inspiration. So here is that. Again, I have them 2 flipped. And then there are 4 different sizes, the original and then on down. And then these 3 here are from the 1st page, because since this took up so much room, I didn't have space to put the different sizes. So that is what the freebie is this time for November. I think it turned out really good considering I had so many technical difficulties yesterday. So I've already cut them out. I already have them here, and that took quite a bit of time, but let me just say that if you enjoy fussy cutting, you're going to love these. If you don't enjoy fussy cutting, well then have somebody else do it because it is so worth it. I just think that having that image as like a sticker would be just like super cute, or just an accent, or however you want to look at it. So I just sat there and did it while watching TV last night. So I'm going to move these aside here. So I cut out the 2 pages for the actual traveler's notebook. Let me get my traveler's notebook. So it'll fit perfectly into my traveler's notebook, just like that. But before I put that down, I am going to do 2 things. I am going to, one, I'm going to put my original in here. So, let's see. Oh, and I just shipped some packages out yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday. And I had cut a bunch of these pumpkins out from October's. I had cut a bunch of those out, and I used those on the packages. I thought it looked really sweet. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to skip a couple days, like I said previously in the video, because this is birthday month for most of us in the family. So I'm just going to skip some days. And I think I'm going to add this right onto there. And I'm going to do just like I did with the October. I'm going to make it into a pocket so that I can put the original inspirations and things in there as well. You know what, before I add that, did I? Oh, I actually painted on that one. So let me just go ahead. I'm going to add this. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Just because this is thicker glue, I want to make sure that it's thicker paper, not thicker glue. I want to make sure that it's stuck down. So I'm going to go all the way around the edges. I hope the length of this video didn't get on your all's nerves too much. And I hope you give this one a try. So I'm going to put that down, and then, well, since I got this glue out, I am going to make a pocket. I think I used my art glitter glue for the last one, but I'm just going to make a pocket. Try to make a pocket anyway. Last month, I saw all of your all's awesome creations from October, and I so loved that. You guys posted pictures in my Facebook group, and it was just so awesome. I was so proud. I was super proud. I was like a proud mama. I just thought you guys did a great job. You had great interpretation of, you know, the project. Okay, so there's the original artwork. Okay, so then I'm going to put this here. But first, I am going to go ahead. This is the printout. I just printed this onto, I think it's 32-pound white printer paper. but you can print it on whatever you want. So I'm just going to go ahead. I am going to write the year on here on my printout. So I'm just getting the hematite activated here. And I'm just going to write 2018 on here. Before I glue it down. There. I'm not going to add the month on here, the calendar month, just yet. I feel like, oh, look at there. Happens all the time, doesn't it? I think I'm out of my rectangle ones. I'm going to have to use one that's a different color. You guys do that all the time, right? Where you forget to add your thingy back on there. Mine just was so bad, I had to ditch it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of inking. This is Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. So I'm going to ink around those edges, and then I'm going to come along and I'm going to ink around these edges. You don't have to. I'm going to fold it in half so I don't get that other page. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. Okay. Very sloppy because I'm going to be adding this right on top. Oh, I keep putting my glue up. I need my glue. Whoa. Okay, so I'm just going to set that right in there. Right? I think it turned out pretty awesome. Is it focused? I can't tell. What do you think? You guys like it? So you could, of course, if you wanted to, you could just add that there, right? You could have like a mirror kind of thing. Or you can add that there. I just love that. I just think it's so cool. So I left some of them like that. Oh, I didn't even trim the rest of that off. This is like a journaling card kind of thing. So I left some like that, and then I also like did the fussy cutting around. I just really, really dig this. So I think again what I'm going to do is, I had such a journey with this one. I might add some of these at the bottom and then journal up here, just because I really did feel like this was definitely a process for me. Let's see, let's use one of these. Right? Could do something like that. I like it. So I'm going to glue these down. Alright, I'm going to scoot you in. Let's go ahead and add some color to this, just like we did the original painting. So I think I'm going to start, I think I'm going to directly color onto this paper. Alright, so we just kind of make it cohesive. See how it's like, well, you'll see as soon as I start. Let me grab something real quick. I am getting the dashboard out that I made, and I'm going to stick it under here so that I have a smoother surface to work on. I'm going to make sure that there is no paint left on my water brush. Oh, looks like there's a little bit. And I'm just going to activate that color that I just applied. It's just kind of to make it, you know, cohesive, I guess. I'm making sure that's focused. I'm going to add some down here, but I'm also going to be adding some other colors, like the green that we used. and the blue and maybe even a little bit of the black. I don't know yet. But I'm going to go straight from the crayon.
Let's see. Alright, so I'm almost out of the hematite on my palette here. I'm going to have to add some more and let it dry.
Right, so that looks like that. And then I'm going to add some of this blue. Let me make sure it's not too wet. Whoa. Up here at the top. Well, that looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? But luckily, especially on this type of paper, it picks up and moves quite easily. So all of those crayon-y like marks disappear.
Add some more over here. I think I'm going to go down the side a little bit. There we go. I think the word come out. It's operator error. It is not the product. It is operator error for sure.
Okay, so I've got that. So then I could write, you know what I need to do? Now what I need to do is, y'all are gonna think I'm nuts. I'm gonna take some of this color that's here. Oh, you can't even see. I'm gonna take some of this color that's on my brush holder, my brush, what do I call that? Ink stand. I don't know what I call it. I don't think I call it anything, do I? But there's a lot of ink there, so I'm just picking it up with my water brush, and I'm just going around the edges. Since I didn't ink it ahead of time, I'm just going to go around the edges and see if I like that look, to see it makes it a little bit more cohesive.
I like that. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty cool. I know I'm super zoomed in. Whoa. So I'm just going to go through here, and I'm just going to add it all the way around the edges. So this is probably a mixture of browns. It's probably not just walnut stain. But that's okay. But it's okay. I just need to make sure that I let that dry before I stick my sponge thingy, my Tim Holtz blending tool. Or is it a Ranger? I think it's both. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I like it. Let me zoom you out just a little bit. Right? You guys think it turned out good? So now, again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and write on here, after this dries really good, I'm going to write on here what kind of happens during my whole process of making this painting with you guys, and just to kind of have a memory of it. Alright, so in the end, I am really pleased with how this turned out. I love having all of these additional pieces that I could use throughout other parts, other things, scrapbooks, anything, handmade cards, any of that. I can use them in anything. So I am going to put these original pieces. I just love that. I really, you know, I should have painted that on camera with you guys, but it was kind of like an experiment to see what I wanted to do. But I am going to put them in the little pocket that we made, I hope. I didn't glue it shut, did I? So that I have them for future reference. And then I'll probably put some of these in the envelope that is back here. In this envelope, because this is where I got all of the pumpkins that I had already cut out. Oh, I've only got one left. Oh no, there's 2. I got 2 left because I used them in some packaging, doing my packaging the other day. So I'll probably put these in here because I like having them, especially for the month of November. All right, so again, these are available in my Facebook group. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Do give it a try, and if you try, be sure to tag me in it. Put it on my Facebook group. Let me see pictures. Let me see your take on it, and let me hear your thoughts about it. I don't know. Just let me know. So that's all I got for you guys. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit that circle right there. Here's a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking it out. And there should be some other videos here on the screen that you may enjoy watching. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.